Didn't think we make it. Now they break their neck just to look at me. Remember when I called you and you didn't pull through? Now you hate yourself, you can look at me, look at me. You hate me.
And what up? What's good with y'all? Alright, so what are we getting into today? Today we're about to be, basically, this is like a continuation of the last video that you guys seen. So we're going to be heading out to Sac Speed Shop, and we're going to be messing with my stroker motor, checking push rod lengths to see what the hell is going on with this thing. And yeah, so that's pretty much what we're getting into today. I don't want to give a long ass intro. I got to meet them there at 10, between 10 and 10:30, and it's already 9:22, and I'm about, let's say, 45 minutes or so away from Sac Speed Shop. So yeah, no further ado, let's head that way and let's figure out what the is going on with my Corvette. Part of me kind of wants to drive the FD today. I'll probably just take Nita Z again. Ha ha ha. Man, I like driving her little car. This thing's like all nice and comfortable. Stockish. AC blows insanely cold. But I think when I do the LS3 in her car, I'm definitely gonna do the AC and everything. Her car will be a built LS3 with working and functioning AC. Definitely gonna be doing the AC on here for sure. Alright, so we are here at Sac Speed Shop. Hella traffic because Memorial Day weekend, but we are here. So Brett said he was about 20 minutes out or so. So once he gets here, we'll commence with these measuring of these push rods and all that. Come on, blood.
Good.
Lagging ass.
You're the one that said be here at 9, then you
What's
said
cracking?
10.
How you doing?
9,
Cool.
then you're the one that said 9, then said 10. You here at 10:30.
Yeah, man. Oh, thank you. Did they have my sweet and low?
Yep. Oh, boy ain't here either.
I know, he called me and said he hit hella traffic.
Oh, yeah?
Alright, so we in here now. Brett just got here. So we'll start measuring these push rod lengths and seeing what we got. And hopefully we can get the measurements all done. Brett was saying that usually with the T-bar upgrades, when you delete the trays, what ends up happening is the exhaust and the intake push rods usually aren't the exact same length, even though the valves are the same. It's usually a little offset. So it's literally like a smudge it.
Yep. We know a half turn at this point. Good.
All right, fuck it.
Yeah, Ray backing up a little bit and got compression yesterday. So
Literally a smudge it.
yeah.
It was like a half a turn, and then went up like, I want to say 80 psi.
Those are the numbers.
These are the old ones before. Also, let me just say too that, you know, shout out to Brett for coming through. Brett outsourced the motor to the machine shop and had the machine shop assemble it. So technically, this isn't his responsibility to even come way out here because he had no parts on the assembly of this. But, you know, just to make things right and to help me out with this because he middlemaned and dealt with the machine shop, you know, he opted in to come here, measure this, and, you know, check everything for us. Because again, like Sac Speed Shop said, is they didn't want to touch it, something go wrong, and then everyone's pointing the finger. So we're kind of letting the people who assembled the motor deal with it. And yeah, that was the original plan from the get-go. Alex wanted this thing from oil pan to valve covers completely sealed as a long block, and they didn't want to open it. So here we are. But yeah, man, big thanks to Brett for even coming out and checking this for us. Because like I said, it could have been one of those things where you just be like, just take it back to the machine shop and have the machine shop check it. We tow the car there, or we have to pull the motor back out. So this does save us a lot of time. And it definitely saves me a lot of money because Sac Speed Shop ain't cheap. Man, look at this. Look at Ray, creeper with his little camera that watches his toolbox. Look at this. Bro, I've never seen this.
You think he's moving
Look.
or you think it goes with it?
I don't know what it does. I don't know. That's just funny.
Kinda cool though.
It is.
And look, he turned his fucking box around.
He's like, I'm watching everything. I already took an 8mm socket from him anyway.
No, the famous 10.
Nah, we got the 8. We needed an 8 for the rocker. Look at Ray, stingy ass. Don't be so stingy, Ray. All right, so now we're trying to get the motor over at TDC. You can see the rockers are all off on this side. So get this thing top dead center, and then he can start checking them. What size are those ones?
7.350.
Are they all the same though?
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's the tech I was speaking to said they were all the same. They're 7.350.
Christian, if you watching this, nigga, we all in your box, nigga. All in your box. Probably he said either 19 or 21. It's probably 21. Let me check this. All right, so it's definitely a lot bigger than a 21. Let's try, it's probably a 24. Yeah, let's try 24. Oh, we're good. Spinning on the alternator. Oh, there we go.
So I gotta spin it backwards. I gotta think about everything backwards.
So the way you check it is you have to check all the pistons at TDC.
Yeah.
So it's not like we line it up at TDC on one, like cylinder 1 at TDC and check all of them. They all have to be at top dead.
There's like ways of doing that, but I like kind of rather do it individually.
So Brett brought the stethoscope. That's how you check colon. You just run that up your butt and then start wiggling around, see if you see any lumps.
Yeah, that's how they do it. And do them for free.
Number 1 was actually one of the cylinders that had compression, but it had 33% leak down. Compression was 190, 33% leak down. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 were at 0 with 31% leak down, 31% leak down, and 29 and 35%. 35 was the highest percentage of leak down we had.
Yeah, I think they were all kind of like suffering from the same issue.
Yeah.
It should be if the machine shop or the machine works close, then you know if one's got a problem, they're probably all gonna have it. What he said is that he put all the fucking valve lengths to the same length, so you should be pretty close.
So usually when you ran these, how far off was it when you said you had to do the intake and exhaust push rods slightly different?
I remember. It's hard for me to remember because I used them in conjunction with the adjustable rockers too. And I think what it was is like I used some off the shelf, like back then or now you can get like quarter differences. Like for a while they were only coming in 50 thousandths differences off the shelf. So I think I got one that was slightly shorter, and then also used the adjustable rocker to
make up the difference.
Yeah, because like I was saying, like we're looking for a step smaller than 25 even, because the preload, the maximum preload they're really suggesting is 15 thousandths. So like it can,
So you think this would have been better with adjustable rockers?
not really. It's better with these ones. Just at the time I thought that was a solution, and I happened to get the adjustable rockers from somebody that had them in stock or whatever. So it's just a easy way for me to get my car up and running. And I just had to remember if I worked on the valve train that there was 2 different length push rods in it.
Look at that vascularity.
Everyone's talking about it.
That's what I need. I need some veins. Bitches like veins.
Friends keep saying, fucking, look at your veins, dude.
Make you look yoked. They just don't know you skinny as hell.
got it right now. It's too loose to start checking, so I'm gonna take up that slack and get it to 0. We're just sitting on the lifter and there's no space here. It's snug, but then I get the wrench on and I count my turns. Right now I got about 30 or 1/4 of a turn, so I mean I'll torque it and find out for sure, but it's about 1/4 of a turn of preload with the 7.3s.
So before it was 7.35 and these are 7.3?
Yeah, before it was 7.35 and it had like a little bit more than 3/4 of a turn of preload, which is too much for these lifters, and now it's got 1/4 turn of preload, which is where I like to run these lifters at, that or even less. So yeah, it's a matter of getting the right push rod length in there, back up and running. I'm gonna check the intake again, and then I'm gonna write this stuff down and move on to the next cylinder, and then I might repeat the whole thing when I'm done.
All right, so with the new push rods in, 2% leakage. What was this one before? 25 or something?
It says 33%.
33?
Yeah.
So yeah, these push rods are definitely a lot better than the other ones. So this is the size we need then, this will work.
This would work, yeah.
Oh yeah, so there we go. Another one. This one did have slightly different, what you think, valve height probably?
Yeah, I think different
Valve height.
Yeah.
So this one was, this push rod length was a little bit different from the other ones that we've been replacing, but did get it to literally like 2% leak down, which is perfect. So right now things seem to be going smooth, and we're getting we should have our compression back. If leak down's checking back to 0 to 5%, then we should have compression again. I think the push rod lengths were too long and it was keeping the valves open, but now that we getting this situated, we should be back in action. So far we good.
Yeah, we're good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Some sign of relief. It's like,
Shit stresses everyone out.
man, I was not looking forward to possibly having to pull this thing back out or tow the whole car and fuck. Whatever. This thing's out of our control. So we'll just keep chopping away at this. Alright, so now Brett's just cleaning out all the push rods. Both banks are done, got all the measurements, and we have enough push rods to throw in here to get this thing back together. So shortly we should have it all back together. The push rods right here are a set of trick flows that he had. So cool part is they are going to work. Everything was as low. I think the highest was 3% leak down. So yeah, it's looking like we're gonna be good. So we'll see what happens once we get the new ones in, get this thing sealed up, and then we'll try to fire it up and take a listen to see how it's sounding. The new game plan right now is we're gonna leave this like this. Leak down, everything seems to be fine, but he wants to verify and double check with the machine shop on the new push rod lengths to see if maybe we could possibly go shorter if we're leaving this like this. And he also didn't want to torque this down with a 1/2-inch torque wrench. He wants the smaller torque wrench just because these require such little torques, like 18 foot-pounds. So we're gonna leave it like this. Once everything is verified, we'll go from there. Yeah, we're all sitting here chopping it up and stuff, and kind of got a game plan. It's looking like maybe sometime next week we should have some solid answers. That way we can button this up and get it all started. We're pushing to get this thing done by Friday because our boy Jason's supposed to be here Friday doing all the tuning and stuff. So we kind of need this car done by Friday for sure. Or Alex was just talking to him about, you know, if we button this thing up come Tuesday and, you know, things still aren't right, then what Alex wants to do is, he said, if we're taking over this or we're, you know, doing this our way, then they want to take this apart and redo the lifters and push rods. They want to do the Johnson lifters with the off-the-shelf push rod. They kind of don't like the lifters that are, they don't like the lifters that are in here right now. Put Christian's stuff back. Here's your 24, sir. 1100 horsepower. All right, what up, fellas, ladies? If y'all are here, maybe the small few that do watch the channel, but yeah, anywho, I just got home, and before we wrap this video up, again, I just want to touch bases and and say, man, thanks to Brett again, dude. Like, at no point is he responsible at all for this motor, other than him being the person that had the machine shop assemble it. And and we, this ain't to point fingers, this ain't to point blame or whatever. The situation does suck. It is what it is. People do make mistakes, and this is just one of those things where it could be possible that the machine shop wasn't fully aware of what lifters were running in this motor, because they aren't stock lifters or Johnsons or anything like that. And I know these lifters do have a smaller travel rate, so when it comes to push rod lengths, they do need to be fine-tuned, and it needs to be exact. So a lot of times what machine shops will do is they'll basically cut all the valves the same length and use the same length push rods for everything, whereas on here that doesn't seem to be the case. Doesn't work that well with these lifters. So that could be one thing. It could be just the lifter selection that they weren't fully clear of when they machined the push rods. But it also could have been something that just didn't get double checked or triple checked when everything went in, just to make sure the tolerances and the clearances were what they were supposed to be. So it was literally like super small. Like, let's say if one was 0.35 or whatever, literally the only change we made was like a 0.30. That was like how small the difference was between the valve being stuck open. And so I think right now we kind of have an idea of what measurement push rods we need, but Brett's going to be sending over all the information to the machine shop on Tuesday after the weekends, and then we'll know for sure if the current push rods that we have in there will work and if everything will be okay. If not, what we're going to do is we're going to get another set of push rods ordered, maybe something slightly smaller. That way there isn't much preload on the lifter itself. Brett's going to take care of that, double check with the machine shop, and if it's a go, get new push rods ordered or run the ones that are in there, and we send it.